Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Today we have another video talking about the LCS, League of Legends professional scene, off-season, all the latest rumors, speculation, everything that is going on. Today we are going to be talking about TSM more specifically. Before we get in this one, I just wanted to mention real quick, we have a $25 RP giveaway going on right now. It's going to be taking place on Thanksgiving Day because I'm super thankful for just the numbers that the channel's been putting up recently. Subscribers, views, just positivity in the comment section, support, all that stuff. It's been absolutely awesome on YouTube, on Twitch, just everywhere. So again, I want to give back to one of you guys. Hopefully make your Thanksgiving Day extra special, and yeah, just say a big thank you just to everyone. But with that being said, here we go, getting right into this one. Scuffed Skeleton, our man, as you can see, he does follow us on Twitter. He's one of the most popular rumor, speculation, off-season accounts with over 5,000 followers. He seems like a really cool dude, and he, at least in my opinion, he's one of the more reliable Twitter accounts about rumors and everything. He tweets out rumor, again, 100% rumor, speculation. None of this is 100%. This is just the latest. We're still 8 days away from free agency starting, so nothing is going to be official until then. Rumor, Xico to TSM may be real. More info in a bit. And he's saying that may be real because there was a ton of other Twitter accounts, a lot of the other smaller Twitter accounts were tweeting that they heard Xico might be headed to TSM to become their new mid laner. He is the mid laner for the Movistar Riders. They are a team in the Spanish league. They are like a European regional league team. They actually won the Spanish league in the summer split. They didn't do as good at European Masters. They finished like between 9th and 11th. And Xico has insane stats in the Spanish league. He's a Portuguese mid laner. He is 22 years old. He had insane stats always in his domestic leagues, but then his stats always did drop off a little bit, both at European Masters and at the Iberian Cup. Seems like he has a very good champion pool, plays all different kinds of champions, all different kinds of styles, and pretty much performs on everything. But I would definitely have questions about his performances at the bigger tournaments, most likely, again, the Iberian Cup and European Masters. But that can always be depending on how good your team is. It can make you look a little bit worse. It can make your stats look a little bit worse. So, I don't know. I think he is definitely a solid player. But I don't know how to feel about this move. If he is going to be the real deal for TSM in the mid lane, I have some questions for sure. Again, he's 22 years old. So, he's not this super young talent that they can continue to develop and mold and I think expect a ton of development from. Obviously, 22 is still young. He has some of his better years ahead of him, but it's not the same as getting like a 17-year-old or an 18-year-old or 19-year-old that looks as talented as a 22-year-old. If they were going to go with somebody unproven and young, that makes me really question why they're not going with somebody like Evolved. Like, yes, European mid laners, especially the young ones, have a great history of working out. Europe has developed so many good mid lane talent. They've just been an absolute powerhouse for pumping those guys out. But Evolved also looks like a very talented up and coming mid laner. And if you are going to take a chance on someone and develop them, developing any star mid laner would be great. Obviously, that's the dream. But if you had to choose between having a European star mid laner in America or a North American, the North American one has so much extra value. So even if you think Xico's a little bit better than Evolved right now, hitting on Evolved and having to Evolved become an absolute superstar would be so much better because North America does not have great North American mid laners. So if you're one of the teams that has one of those, you're in such a better spot. Obviously, if you import someone and they end up working out, that's great too. You're still going to be in an awesome spot. Having a great mid laner is awesome. But is Xico way better than Evolved? Like, I don't know. Hopefully TSM thinks so. If they are going with a European mid laner, I hope it's because they think he is way better than Evolved, not just because they want a European mid laner, because that would be super weird to me. I definitely am worried about this because, yeah, I don't think Xico, he didn't dominate European Masters. He didn't dominate the Iberian Cup. And he's 22 going on 23. I guess he's a big TSM fan. I guess he would be excited about coming to North America. So that's always great. I love people that want to play for the organization, and usually that means you can get a little bit better deal on them. Obviously, if he's not already an established like mid laner in a big team or anything, obviously then he's going to be a little cheaper too. So maybe they can save some money to throw some more money at a big top laner or a Korean support or whoever that be, Licorice, Impact. You know, that does give them a little bit more money to play with, and maybe they end up with a better team overall. But again, you already have Evolved on your team. You already have him for cheap. It does make me question that a little bit. We do have some other tweets from Skeleton about the situation. He did say the info is simple. TSM does not have a good relationship with European players. Obviously, they've had Sven in the past. They had Sven and Mithy actually together. They had Kabe, who they kind of did dirty in a lot of people's opinion. They've had Yellowstar. They've had some other European players, and it's never really worked out. For like more than a split at most with TSM. TSM don't have a good relationship with them. EU players don't want to play for TSM. He's aware that money talks, but the reports of TSM striking out on mids and Lena talking about it being hard to import, it makes sense why TSM is looking at ERL talent. It's too coincidental. TSM swung and missed based on the way they've treated imports in the past. I highly doubt Kabe and Mithe went back to EU with glowing reviews of TSM. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I hadn't even read that tweet yet, but yeah, it makes complete sense. I think there's even more examples of that. Sven, they didn't do super dirty, but I'm sure Sven's not like, oh yeah, TSM's amazing. He has talked pretty well of TSM, but I don't know if you'd recommend somebody else to do what he did. And then Yellow Star, same exact stuff. TSM have burned bridges, and when you burn bridges, the only way back is to fix them naturally or with money. So they're trying to fix it naturally. They don't want to spend the money, but we'll see. TSM Xico stuff came about by a combination of what I've heard. He has a tryout in NA for an unnamed team. I've also heard TSM is looking at European Regional League mids. Xico's a massive TSM fan and would probably ignore the warnings for a chance to make money and play for a team he likes. So yeah, that'd always be a good sign. Also, if you're from an ERL and you get a chance to play on an LCS or LEC team, it's hard to pass that up. He knows TSM fans are going to hate him for this, but this is the reality. The opinion of TSM by other regions, even some players and coaches in NA, is extremely negative. That's something, we've pretty much known. The most constant thing he's learned from his international colleagues. Expect the only way TSM imports is to be throwing a bank at an LEC or LCK mid laner or by dipping into the TCL or ERL. So again, TSM doesn't like spending money, so they see an opportunity in the European regional leagues. Lena did tweet out this earlier today. It's honestly harder to import players when the U.S. is in the state. Can you imagine how parents feel when their young adult son wants to move to the U.S. to play pro League of Legends and there's surging COVID, political unrest, etc.? I really hope we can come together as a country and do better. So I agree with some of that. It's definitely harder to import right now. It's harder to get green cards. It's harder to get people into the country. There's travel restrictions, all that stuff. I don't know if it's for these reasons. I don't know if people are telling their son, hey, don't go make millions of dollars because COVID's going on. Because COVID's going on around the world. The political unrest might be a little scary too. But again, these guys are rich. They're in good situations. They're not, I don't know. I don't think the risk of any of that stuff is too great. There are some things to be worried about, but it's not like the U.S. is just like in this like, I don't know, war state or something where you're unsafe. I don't think any of the League of Legends pros at any time during the past LCS season like ever felt unsafe. COVID stuff, yes, but again, that's something happening everywhere. I don't know. I don't completely agree with this. I do believe it is a little bit of BS where she's just making some excuses and stuff. Let me openly state this is a complete lie. I completely agree. He's talked with many sources that has nothing to do with COVID political unrest. I completely believe that. Again, if you are a League of Legends pro, you're making career and business decisions based off money, based off rosters that are going to set you up for the rest of your life. Yes, there is some risk involved with COVID and political stuff, blah, 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 blah. But again, I don't know. I don't believe that that's influencing some of these decisions. It's how the org handles itself. It's not the country's fault. It's your org's fault. I hate to even say this, but Thorin was right. Yes, that is always painful to say that Thorin was right. He could speak on this for hours, and he might come back. But yeah, TSM would just say this Rando has no idea what he's talking about. But yeah, I definitely think there's a ton of credence going on to what he's saying there. He says, let me be clear, I'm not saying TSM staff is the issue. I'm saying it comes from the top. I completely agree. And I'm not taking this away from TSM and their other esports, the Siege team, the Smash team, Valorant, the Fortnite team are all solid from TSM, and TSM is going in the right direction with them. The LOL side needs a change. And yes, it is very, very hard to fix a reputation, and obviously TSM is seeing the effects of this. So again, Xico's not confirmed, but it does seem like the rumor with the most legs currently. Xico could be headed to TSM to be their new mid laner. Seems like they're really, really struggling to bring in imports. I don't know what that means for the support position either. It'll be interesting to see how all of that plays out. But yeah, we'll just have to see. Pretty much every video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about Xico to TSM? If you are TSM, do you think this is a good move? Do you think this is a bad move? Is there somebody else you think they should be going with? Definitely subscribe, stay up down on the latest content. Leave that comment down below. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Check me out over at twitch.tv/I_am_germ. And check out the first link in the description below for that giveaway we got going on. And best of luck if you enter it. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.